Just purely by chance, I've been seeing a few films lately that deal with the theme of social status. Specifically, I'm referring to films like Stolen Face, the series Berlin Alexanderplatz, The Servant, and Jean de Florette. And I find it interesting how different social classes and incomes can conflict with each other. And that brings us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, a bittersweet, poignant film that's part social commentary, part comedy, and even part romance. Let's check it out. Today's film is Goodbye Columbus from 1969, 102 minutes long, in color. It's about a young man from a middle-class background who falls in love with a young girl from a very wealthy background, and their differences become more evident the longer they are together. Now, I called this in the thumbnail a postgraduate comedy because it has some similarities to the classic film The Graduate from 1967, in that for several reasons. One is there's a wedding scene near the end of this film that's pretty similar to the party scene at the beginning of The Graduate. They're both about two young people who are a couple who are both kind of finding their way through the world. The Graduate had music, of course, by Simon and Garfunkel. This one has music by The Association, which was a pop group back in that era. And if you're around my age, you might remember them. They had a couple of hits. Nowhere as classic or as good as Simon and Garfunkel, of course. And both films deal with the theme of the generation gap. Both films also deal with Jewish characters and families. This film is much more overt in that respect. These are obviously Jewish characters. It takes place on the East Coast. Neil, the main character, is from the Bronx. Brenda, the other main character, lives in a very nice place in upstate New York. There's some Yiddish words and phrases sprinkled throughout the film. And some have said that the characters are a little too stereotypically Jewish because they can be loud and brash and highly emotional and outspoken. There are several scenes of people gorging on food, or talking with their mouths open, and their hands are all greasy and stuff. And that I didn't like that part at all. And the father, Brenda's father, dotes on his daughters, so they're kind of like Jewish American princesses, his two daughters. But you be the judge. Opinions varied on whether this is an anti-Semitic portrayal of these people or not. The novella it's based on was from a Jewish writer, and the screenwriter was Jewish as well. Neil meets Brenda at a country club. She's a member of this very exclusive club. He got in as a guest of his cousin, and she's living in a huge house in upstate New York. He's from the inner city, living with his aunt and uncle in a very loud, crowded area. His parents moved to Arizona. He stayed there. She's on a break from attending Radcliffe, a rather exclusive, expensive college. He dropped out of community college to join the Army and now works in the public library, but he's really not sure he likes it that much. She has help at her parents' house to do all the cooking and cleaning. There's one scene where they're all sitting around and eating very noisily, and the father yells out, "Carlotta, more chicken!" And that was kind of a weird thing. His father is a self-made man. He has a plumbing supply business. And there's one interesting scene where Brenda's upset about something, so she and Neil go up in the attic of their house, and there's all this old furniture there. And Neil says, "What's this doing here?" And she said, "That's from furniture from when we were poor." So I guess he held on to it for some reason. And do these two worlds of Neil and Brenda collide at some point? I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but I will say that the ending is, for me, unforgettable. Whenever I think of this film, I think of the ending. It's just very interesting. So as I said, this was based on a novella by Philip Roth, very well-regarded writer. I read the novella a long time ago. I read one of his other novels, Portnoy's Complaint, and then another novel of his, The Plot Against America. And he actually liked the interpretation of his novella with this film, and he's a pretty cantankerous guy, so that was high praise coming from him. And the screenplay was by Arnold Schulman, who also wrote the screenplay. He was nominated for this for Best Adapted Screenplay, and he was also nominated for the screenplay for Funny Girl and for a film that I think is really underrated that needs more recognition, and that is Tucker, A Man in His Dream. And that's a Francis Ford Coppola film about Preston Tucker, I believe his name was, who invented this new kind of car right after World War II. Goodbye Columbus did quite well financially and critically, and I think a big part of that is in the writing and also in the incredible cast, which includes Richard Benjamin. It's actually he plays Neil. This is his first film. He did a lot of theater work before this, and he's just excellent here. And right before this, he had a TV series, a sitcom, with him and his real-life wife, Paula Prentice, called He and She. And again, if you're around my age, you might remember that show. And then after this, he went on to appear in Catch-22, the film Catch-22, another film I really like, and Diary of a Mad Housewife, another film I like. And I did an episode on Diary of a Mad Housewife if you want to check that out. And then playing Brenda is Ali MacGraw. It's her first major film role. I think she was in one other film before this, but was not credited. And she's really good too. They had a hard time finding the actress to play with Richard Benjamin. They auditioned like 1,000 different women. And then during a break, Richard Benjamin was with the producer or someone like that. And they noticed this young lady getting off a bus. And he said, "See that girl there? I need someone like that. She has a certain presence about her." Turned out it was Ali MacGraw, and she was going to audition later that day. And she got the role. Right after this, she appeared in Love Story, which was, of course, huge. And I forgot she was once married to Steve McQueen, but they made that film together, The Getaway, Pick and Paw film. And right now she is living a pretty low-key life in New Mexico. Playing Brenda's father is Jack Klugman. He was in 12 Angry Men and did a lot of TV before this. And then a year after this, he really took off, but he was playing Oscar in the Odd Couple TV series. Interestingly, Neil's last name in this film is Klugman. So my rating for Goodbye Columbus is a 4.5 tennis balls out of 5 tennis balls because it has to do with the first date between Neil and Brenda. She's playing tennis and he's waiting for her. I kind of dinged it a half point because of some of the portrayal, how they portray the Jewish characters. It was a little distasteful, I thought, a little bit too extreme. So what's on this disc? This is from Fun City Editions. There is a 20-page booklet that comes with it. It's pretty good. It looks like this. It's got one essay in it. And there's Ali MacGraw on the back. And, a few pictures, but mainly it's an essay about the film. A good one, actually. Pretty complete. And there are some extras there. This might be a limited edition that comes with the booklet. I'm not sure. So if you're looking to buy it, just double check to make sure it's coming with the booklet. And there is a few extras. There's an audio commentary, which I did not listen to. There is a post-screening panel discussion from 2016 with the cast and crew members. And that is about 30 minutes long. And there is a new interview with the composer that's about 15 minutes long. So where can you see Goodbye Columbus? Right now it is streaming on Amazon Prime if you want to check it out. Feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. I'm going to be honest, I had an old DVD of this film years ago, and then I was in like a trading in mood, so I got rid of it. And then when this new Blu-ray edition came out with the booklet and the extras, I bought it again. So maybe some of you have traded in DVDs before and then bought new editions of it. Kind of dumb, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done that before. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free is we are on the Letterboxd app under the Kazdoy Closet, where we leave brief written reviews of other things we're watching. There's a link down below that'll take you right there. Check that out. That's free. What's not free is my ebook is available. It is True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs from 32 years of teaching. It's for your Kindle. If you have Kindle Unlimited as part of your subscription at no extra charge. Otherwise, it's $1.99 at Amazon.com. So, hope you liked this episode. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.